Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 17th episode of Hikaru no Go. Now, last episode, we have a bunch of people, playing in this tournament, people from various countries. That's all pretty cool. And a lot of them, a decent amount of them, have their eyes set on Sai. They're looking for Sai. They don't know where Sai is or what this person's deal is, why he's a thing, They're all trying to figure that stuff out. Mostly Waya. Waya is very curious about that. These people just keep kind of interrupting him, making him do things like, "No, you don't understand. This side guy, this is important to me. Yeah, whatever. Just go play Go." You know, it's just kind of funny. But yeah, let's just see how things go this episode. 3, 2, 1, play. What it's all about: obtaining the hand of God. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Because recently got these fancy noise canceling headphones, which are cool, but they have the unintended side effect of making it harder to hear yourself. So when that happens, usually you talk louder to compensate for that. Then I'm trying to avoid doing that, but it's really hard. I do have a compressor in my audio filter, so it's not a big deal for you guys, I suppose, but okay. Well, Zelda is a Japanese video game, so yeah, pros got better stuff to do, like earn money. Uh, maybe he is. If I go to Japan, my dreams will come true. He's no Sai. The Match of Revelation. Okay, that's a promising title. 20th International Amateur Go Tournament sponsored by the Japanese Institute of Go. Okay. So it's an amateur tournament. Good game. Gotta ask that question. Oh. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, that got everyone's attention. I think someone did. This is crazy. Well, yeah, you're Japanese, so you have a chance of being Sai. uh, he's the best. I'm sure a lot of people played Sai. Oh, ignored. Of course not. I bet you lost. Clearly. I do like how whenever they speak English, they just subtitle as Japanese. A nice touch. Something about the internet, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this internet concept. Is it some new fad? Cool. It'd be funny if people thought Kira was Sai. Because he's a child, you know, Japanese. Very skilled, so that's understandable. Yeah, he just fights whatever. Could you imagine playing a Sai drinking game? Take a shot every time they say Sai. That's some high praise. Yeah, who could possibly beat Sai, you know? Uh, yeah, I gotta be involved in this, you know? I told you about that earlier, god damn it. Morishita. Shusaku. The name sounds familiar. That would be Sai. uh, that sounds incredible. Not too far off. He's not a monster, no. I don't think Sai's ever gotten so much attention in an episode before. Akira, he might be able to chime in here. Who knows? uh, because if Akira plays Sai over the internet, he'll know. So hopefully that ends up happening. Yeah, why they were doing that to you? Why would you do that to Akira? Finally, Akira says that word. Yeah, there's enough puzzle pieces here for Akira to do something. To be fair, there's lots of childish adults on the internet. I mean, it's not like we had a full conversation. Calm down, guys. But yeah, Kira knows a child is really good. I think he does. It's a matter of whether he'll share or not. Okay, that's a not. But he has an idea. But Akira still doesn't know everything, so he's still gonna be confused. But if you actually face him on the internet, I do think you would recognize the style. Even if it has changed a bit. Okay, Akira's getting on the internet. Wow. Is the world ready for something like that? So we actually are signed up for this. Oh, really? I didn't see it. I saw no. Mika. In this box, I love how Sai looks at it. Is that? Yep, that's Akira. Because you're famous. It's the Akira. Although you can't know that for sure, really. uh, popularity's not all it's cracked up to be, is it? Oh, I would love some service from my tiny sister. Back to that picture again. Come on, do it. Do it, Hikaru. This needs to happen. Audible gasps. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, he did. I bet you he did. Yeah, that'd be great, but that's crazy. That would never happen. Oh, let's test him. Yeah, I'm sure Sai could pick one that pretty quickly. Take the black. Pick. Wonder how long it'll take him to figure out whether or not it's Akira. Will it be right there? Yep, it was. We have our first intense internet go game in the show. I think that's a safe assumption. Oh, really close. You know, the last game. Yeah, I remember that. He just sliced poor Akira in half. It was horrible. A perfect slice. Those poor ghost stones. But yeah, once you know it's Akira, are you gonna beat him or not? Man, Sai, you really are perceptive. But yeah, I think we're pretty sure we're who each other is. So yeah, now all the cards are on the table. He knows. He knows who it is. Which he should be happy. He does want a rematch against the true Hikaru, you know. uh, just play the game. Not really much you can do about it now. Man, his tiny sister's cute. Whew. So we are still gonna try to hide her identity. I don't know if that'll work or not, but so even if he makes some strange moves, if he can defeat Akira, Akira will probably still figure it's a good chance of being Hikaru. Oh. Oh wow. I didn't expect that. Well, that wasn't much of a game. Okay. What was your takeaway from that? The way he was looking around, you would have thought he would have had a not safe for work pop-up pop-up. Come on, Hikaru, learn how to use a computer. Seriously. Just embarrassing. He responded. Yeah, those people think that he ignores them for some reason, but the true reason why he ignores people is because he can't type on a computer. I don't know how you can just not be able to reply to someone, but yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that in itself is pretty suspicious, so I do think Akira's got enough to figure it out from that. Wow, is someone triggered? Okay, let's calm down. Well, you don't. But I think Hikaru does. I mean, Akira. Whew. Okay, Akira. I just not sure what he's gonna do with the rematch. What do you expect to be different then? I bet it does. Probably. What's he doing? And man, he really does not like Akira. I guess he has something important to do. Okay, so it is that. I figured. I think they implied as much that it was at the same time. It just didn't quite click in my head. Something funny about sitting here at my computer watching other people sitting at their computer. But yeah, that's gonna cut off before we get into it, isn't it? Enter. I don't think I ever pushed enter to do anything on a computer before. But okay. I really wish I could just read Akira's mind because I'm just really curious what's going on in there right now. Just sigh. You know, for a while I thought it was pretty much impossible that Akira would ever actually pick up on the whole Hikaru Sai thing dynamic, but I mean, he's starting to get kind of close to that with this whole internet stuff. I don't think it could lead to him figuring out the specifics of how this works, but didn't we do this last time? Eyes and deficient eyes. Okay. Well, that was the 17th episode of Hikaru no Go. And yeah, this definitely feels like kind of a turning point in the show. Because the last match that Akira had with Hikaru, obviously that was kind of a travesty there. We just Akira, he wanted to face off against Sai, but he faced off against Hikaru, so he was very upset about that. And Hikaru was upset because, he lost and all of his teammates lost, and it was all a big failure, and it was all sad and depressing. So that was pretty disheartening for Akira, of course, but I was definitely curious exactly what circumstances their next match would fall under, because I could have really no realistic guess from that. But this episode, we actually got to see what that was, and that was over the internet. I wouldn't have predicted that. Because, okay, things started to really escalate when somebody mentioned Sai, and then everybody heard that and all cuddled up. Was like, what Sai? Somebody said Sai. I heard someone say Sai. Are you Sai? No, you. Are you Sai? I'm not Sai. I just heard somebody else say Sai before, and I told them I wasn't Sai. Well, then who's Sai then? I don't know. I didn't see Sai. Just that got all pretty hectic there. But clearly, a lot of people came there to meet Sai because he's like famous on the internet, which is a big deal. But yeah, Why is certainly not the only one that came there looking for Sai, but nobody really knows. Nobody's really made any progress towards that because Sai didn't go there. They all assumed that Sai would be at that tournament because it's an amateur tournament in Japan, so why wouldn't Sai be there? But no, he wasn't there. Sai slash Hikaru was actually just at that same internet cafe that Mitani's hot sister works at, and he just continues to play on the computer, as you do. But yeah, just people had a lot to say on that subject. A lot of people wondering exactly what the deal with Sai is, and why he eventually gave a little bit of info of his own, about probably being a child and summer break, and kind of talked about stuff he's figured out. And things really got interesting when Akira showed up. Now, my first thought was it would be funny if they all thought Akira was Sai because he fits a lot of the, requirements. Akira is a child. Akira is very good at Go, but he's not a pro. So, so it would make sense for that misunderstanding to happen, but I guess we didn't go in that direction. And that's fine. But, yeah, we set this up for Akira to actually have a match with the legendary Sai, which he did. He did. And very uncharacteristically of Sai, he actually initiated a challenge to Akira. Of course, he had to keep rejecting challenges, which is funny. But that's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, he eventually was able to go back to the proper window and click send challenge. Like, oh my god, Sai actually issued a challenge to you. He never does that. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is making history right here. That's more or less how it was. And Akira agreed to it, and they were off. Now, this became a very interesting game of cat and mouse, because neither person in this knows who the other is. Like, Akira has some vague suspicions, like, maybe that's Hikaru. I don't think so, though. I mean, last time I faced Hikaru, he sucked. Like, there's no way this could be him, but he could be. I don't know. I guess I'll do the match and find out. I think that was more or less his mindset there. And then we have Hikaru. It's like, oh, Akira. Could that be Toya? No, that's probably not Toya. But I mean, one way to find out. Clicky, clicky. That was more or less how it went on his side. And then they had their back and forth trying to fill each other out. Sai actually used the word test there. And once we started to see, like, similar moves, like, yeah, that's definitely Akira. Akira's like, oh, that's definitely Hikaru, that's kind of where we're going. And then they were like, no, we don't want him to know who we are. Quick, let's do a silly move. And then he moved somewhere else that would be different than the last game they had that was under similar play. That sentence was awkward, but hopefully you know what I mean. So he did that to throw him off. And then Akira immediately resigned after that move. He did not say anything about it. He said something about not wanting to disrupt the tournament or whatever, but I feel like that was an excuse. So if that's the case, I don't know what the real reason is. If I had to venture a guess, I would assume it's a matter of, okay, it's clear to me he doesn't want me to know that it's him if it is him, so continuing this game would be pointless. That's kind of what I got from that. But if that's the case, I don't know what he would expect to be different in the rematch. Like, because he specifically requested a rematch after resigning from that one. So he clearly believes something would be different. I just don't get it personally. I guess it might be made obvious in the next episode, but I don't quite get what his play is there, what he believes right now. That's why I kind of wish I was in his head, because I don't quite understand what his thoughts are right now. I can just make guesses. But yeah, I mean, for a game that didn't last very long, it's pretty suspenseful, pretty intense. See anything else to note really with the episode? Just like I said, the Sai drinking game, his name was said so much. I don't think I've ever seen a character that was an invisible ghost that nobody could see be talked about so much in an episode before. That was kind of funny. That was pretty funny. And I still can't believe Hikaru was just like, hey, Mitani's sister, can you type the reply for me? Like, it's not rocket science, dude. You, like, click the reply button, make sure the cursor is, like, clicked into the text box. You push the keys on the keyboard and either hit enter or click send, depending on how it works. And you did it. Like, it's really not rocket science. I know the context of this is 2002 or whatever with children, so it's a little bit understandable, but still, it just bothers me a little bit. Just, It's like you are clearly not a millennial. But yeah. Anyway, I do get a kick out of that, even though it's also slightly irritating. But yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say on this, but yeah, Mitane's sister needs more screen time. That's the real takeaway from this episode. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.